We live in an era where communication is instant. Messages travel across continents in seconds, and conversations happen with a single tap on a screen. Yet, as speed has increased, something slower and more deliberate has quietly faded into the background: personal letter writing. Once, letters carried emotion, patience, and intention. People wrote to loved ones, friends, and family not just to exchange information, but to preserve feelings on paper. Today, however, handwritten letters are becoming rare, replaced by quick texts and short digital messages. This shift raises an important question. Have we gained efficiency at the cost of emotional depth? As technology continues to dominate how we communicate, it is worth examining what letter writing truly meant. Why is it disappearing? And whether something meaningful is being lost in the process. So what is a handwritten letter? A personal letter is a deliberate form of communication exchanged between individuals with the intention of expressing thoughts and emotions in depth. Unlike institutional or corporate letters, which are designed to inform or remind or persuade, personal letters exist to connect. They may carry congratulations, apologies, gratitude, condolences, or simple life updates. However, their value lies not in the information that they transmit, but in the emotional weight that they preserve. Writing a letter is unique, requires time, reflection, and vulnerability. The sender must be careful to choose his words, construct meaning, and consider the recipient's feelings as well. This process transforms the letter into more than a message. It becomes a reflection of personality, intention, and emotional investment. Because it is a physical and permanent, it can be stored, revisited, and reinterpreted over time, allowing memories and emotions to be relived. In this sense, personal letters function as emotional archives rather than temporary exchanges. In contrast, communication in the digital era prioritizes speed and convenience. While efficient, this form of communication is often very flat. It lacks depth and reflection. As a result, it becomes very fragmented to talk to another person with just responding in small texts or just pure emojis. When communication becomes instant and disposable, emotional investment may also become lighter. What was once carefully articulated in pages is now compressed into seconds. Across the world, the traditional practice of sending personal handwritten letters has collapsed. For example, in Denmark, one of the most digitally advanced nations, the volume of letters sent annually plunged by more than 90% since the 2000s, from 1.4 billion letters a year to barely over 100 million today.
25 years ago, we were sending 1.4 billion letters each year, and now it's more like 100 million.
In other parts of Europe, postal operators are cutting or eliminating traditional letters delivery as the demand has evaporated. And countries like Belgium now sees fewer than 100 letters sent per person per year, historically unthinkable levels. This isn't limited to Europe. In India, official mail traffic has dropped sharply over the past decade, with personal letter volumes falling around 70%, and even extended outages of mobile services did not make people return to writing letters. These are not localized fluctuations. This represents a global shift away from personal letters as a method of communication, replaced by digital alternatives in every aspect. So the question remains, is it too late to realize our mistake of overindulging in the texting culture that is popular today? Science has proved that handwriting letters can be very beneficial for the brain. Some studies have shown promising results. Studies published in peer-reviewed neuroscience journals find that writing by hand activates significantly more regions in the brain than typing does, engaging motor, sensory, and cognitive networks in a way that boosts also memory, thought integration, and emotional processing. Research reported by the National Geographic also shows that across multiple countries, people remember information better when they write it out by hand rather than typing it, indicating that physical act of writing enhances how ideas are encoded in our brains. When it comes to emotions, the physical, deliberate nature of handwriting makes a difference too. Psychologists have long found that writing by hand about emotional topics like letters to loved ones or stressful experiences leads to a greater emotional understanding. Handwritten letters aren't just symbolic, they carry real emotions. Surveys and psychological commentary show that recipients report a higher feelings of connection, gratitude, and belonging from receiving a letter than a quick text, precisely because the writer invested time and effort in every word. This is not a matter of preference also, it's measurable psychological effects. Writing by hand helps the brain engage deeper, remember longer, and emotionally connect stronger than typing will ever be. Writing letters is not disappearing anytime soon. It still exists. People still do it. It still matters, but if the current pace of technology continues, handwritten letters might become something unfamiliar, something rare, and something foreign to future generations. We are moving toward faster systems, smarter devices, and instant responses, and there is nothing inherently wrong with it. Progress is not the enemy. But in the middle of acceleration, we risk losing small and deliberate acts that require patience and reflection. Writing by hand forces us to slow down. It organizes thoughts. It strengthens our memory. It allows emotions to move slower from the mind to the paper without filters, whether it is written to a parent, a friend, a partner, or even to yourself. The act itself carries value. You do not have to reject modern communication. You can choose to step outside of it, even briefly. Take a pen. Write what you cannot say in a rushed message. Write what you are grateful for. Write what you are struggling with. Write what you hope for. Not because it's traditional, not because it is romantic, but because it strengthens your thinking, your memory, and your emotional clarity. Before it becomes rare, try it.